It's an Amazon kind of day. Stick around and I'll show you the new kitchen gadget that I got. So here it is. This is what I got. I got a steam juicer. I am so excited and I cannot wait to try it out. I was looking at these the other day and talking to Doug about it, and then Sandy at Suburban Homestead, Wyoming did a video on her channel about hers, and that just sold me completely, so I ordered it that day. I think that was Friday maybe, and I got it in today. So I'm so excited, and I think the first thing I'm gonna do is actually tomatoes, because that's what I have. So I will get this all washed up and ready to go to work, and I will let y'all tag along and learn with me as I go. I've never used one of these. I've never seen one used in person, so it should be a real learning experience, but I'm ready if you are. Today is the day that I finally get to try out my juice steamer. So I've washed all the parts in hot soapy water, and I've got 5 quarts of water in here, and I've got these little marbles that I've also washed. I read where you can use these, and as long as you hear those moving around, you know that you still have plenty of water in the bottom. You do not want this to run dry while you're steaming. So I got these marbles, and next I'm going to look and see what I put on top of this. Today, for the first thing is I'm gonna juice some tomatoes. And I know that's a little different, but I've read where you can do it, and I've got tomatoes that I need to do something with, so that's where I'm gonna start. So let's work on the next part. All right, this part is the juice kettle. You can see the spigot here. So I need to add this drainage tube here. Well, okay, maybe we put this side on. Told y'all are gonna have to learn this as I go, because I have certainly never used anything like this before. And now I have a hair on it. Okay, got that off. So, I don't think that's up far enough. Almost got it the whole way. All right. And then we have this little thing that holds this tube closed. I don't know how you work this. Okay. Like this. So that clamps it closed so that your juice is not draining out while it's cooking. So let's see what we do next. All right, I moved y'all around so maybe you can see a little bit better. Here is the colander. So we're gonna put that on top. And now I've got to cut up my tomatoes to go in here. We put the top on and we start the process. Here I am prepping my tomatoes. These have already been washed. And these are the small little salad tomatoes. I'm leaving that end in there. It's not a big deal. We've also got the little cherry tomatoes that are running away from me. So, like I said, I'm just gonna slice them in half. They're pre-washed. Just slice them, throw them in. There's one that's kind of going bad, so that goes in the compost bucket down here. I always have that close by. And yeah, I've got the big compost pile out there. Right now I'm cleaning out the garden, and I'm putting a lot of the old plants. There's a Roma. I am going to cut the end off of that and cut it in half. But I'm cleaning out the garden, taking the plants out, and that is going in the compost. But what I've been doing with my compost bucket, and I'll show you that in just a second, is I've just been taking it out and throwing it to the chickens and ducks. They've been really enjoying it. And later on, I'll just be able to clean out that area. And once they've gone through it, I can add all of that to the big compost. So it still works. They get some veggies and some bugs and all kinds of goodies. That one's got something on it. It's not bad. And then I'll still get it in the compost. So it works out for everybody. So I'm going to do this. Let me grab the camera real quick and I'll show you my compost bucket. There's the compost bucket. It's full of, it's got okra, eggshells, my tea bags, mushrooms, tomatoes, pumpkin shells, all kinds of good stuff. This is stevia stems from yesterday that I've got in the dehydrator. So that is what will go to the chickens. All right, so I'm gonna finish working on these tomatoes and I'll show you as they get in the steamer. I have my first bowl of tomatoes going in. Oh, we're gonna need a lot more, which is good because I have a lot more. I just wasn't sure how many would fit in there, but this is great. I really like the size of this whole thing. I can see where I can use it for a lot of different things. So let me get back to cutting tomatoes. I've now got 6 quarts of chopped up tomatoes in here. And what did I do with the lid? All right, let me find the lid. Here it is. It's still on the table. So they said you fill this part up, and as long as the lid fits securely, you should be good. So I actually could have put more tomatoes in there if I had them, but this pretty much cleaned me out. That's how many tomatoes I had sitting around though that I needed to do something with. I don't really like this touching. There we go. That's better. So I have the burner turned on high. You heard me, I just turned it on. And so we let this come to a complete full rolling boil. And then I begin turning the heat down. We want it to stay at a boil, but not a full boil. So I'm not sure exactly how we regulate that unless I just take this middle section off. Oh, that's kind of heavy. And look at it. But I guess we can do that. We'll figure it out as we go, right? And this process should take about an hour, I believe. Like I said, I'm still reading the book, so we'll see. In the meantime, I've got some chicken cooking over there. I've got okra cooking in the oven. I'm trying to get some stuff done inside today because we've spent all of our time working outside, and the vegetables have kind of piled up on me. So I do see the island is kind of cleaned off over here. I need to wipe it down now. This is my sunflower. It's kind of sad looking, but it's out of my garden. But this should definitely clean some of the vegetables out for today until I have to go pick again this evening. So I'll keep you posted on how this is going, and we'll see if we like this gadget or not. So far, I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I can't wait to do it, to use it on my elderberries. So see you guys in a minute. All right, I wanted to show y'all what we've got now. This is now draining into a pot. And let's see. This has been cooking for 2 hours now. The tomatoes are really cooked down. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop it and see what we've got on the inside. All right, so here's the strainer that has the tomatoes in it. See there? Here is the juice that is still inside that hasn't drained out yet. Wanted to look, see where that drain is. Okay, so there's a lot of juice in there, and I wasn't sure exactly what to expect. I'm kind of anxious to taste this and see what it tastes like. I think this would make a really, really great soup base. And then we can use this part over here to make tomato sauce. So we will just see. Overall, this has kind of been an interesting experiment. And like I said in the beginning, tomatoes are a little bit different to use this for. And I knew that going into it. I mean, the best thing would be to use this for berries and apples and peaches and things like that, that you can really, really juice and have a juice to drink. I don't drink tomato juice of any kind, so I wouldn't be using it for that anyway. But this has been really interesting. I think maybe this is going to end up a little bit easier than processing tomatoes the way I have been doing it, just because I normally cook a lot of the water out of it. So this way I'm getting use of the water. Like I said, this could be my soup bases. And then this I can just process, and that's ready to can. Just put it in a food processor or in a blender, and you're gonna have a tomato sauce. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm anxious to do berries now, but I don't have any. I should have muscadines pretty soon, and we'll try it again. So I decided to do something a little bit different with the tomato pulp. This is a wooden tray that is the exact size of our freeze dryer trays. My husband made these for me. So I'm going to cover this in aluminum foil and then put a piece of parchment paper down and lay out the tomato pulp on this and freeze it, and then it will be ready to freeze dry. And then I will put that in the food processor, and we will have tomato powder, which will be great to cook with later. So this is what we're ended up with today. I've got the tomato puree in this tray. Now I'm putting it in here because I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the freezer like this. My freeze dryer is already running right now. It's got a batch that I just started today. So I'm gonna freeze this, and that way when this batch is finished in the freeze dryer, this will already be frozen and ready to go in there. You don't always have to pre-freeze your batches, but it does help sometimes, and it will just help everything go a little bit quicker. So I had 1 jar of okra that I needed to pickle today, but this is the tomato juice. It's actually a golden color, and it's really pretty, and I did taste it, and it tastes really good. You know, I told you a minute ago that I don't drink tomato juice of any kind. I think I could actually drink this and really like it. So we ended up with 3 quarts and then all of this pulp. Now this is not the way I would process the majority of my tomatoes. I like making pasta sauce and things like that, some salsas, but this is definitely an interesting way to do it here at the end of the season when I've already canned a bunch of sauce. And this was my concoction that I made today. I've made a tray of this also that's going in the freezer. So that will be ready to go in the freeze dryer after a while. So now it's time to get everything cleaned up, wash all the dishes, and take a break for a few minutes, hopefully. Hope y'all enjoyed.